What up, nerds? I'm here to answer your questions. That was a little bit strong, but here I am. kdjTV, another Monday. Happy 10-Minute Mailbag Monday. I'm here to answer your questions about MLB The Show. We have a nice collection of questions this week about pitching, about hitting, about stuff. You know, the stuff we like to talk about in the comment section. You guys have been making these videos great with your very, very profound questions that require a little bit of thought, a little bit of opinion. I love to give my opinion. So if you are a viewer here who's new or maybe a longtime viewer and you have a question you'd like answered, please put it in the comments down below and I will do my best to get to it next week. Also, ladies and germs, we just crossed 1,600 subscribers on YouTube. Holy wow, for me, that's a number I never thought I'd get to, but we're on the road to 2K. If you can help me get there, I'd be much appreciated. We'll run a giveaway when we do get there in the future. Okie dokes, on to the questions. All right, why is this silly old lineup on my screen that you guys are looking at? We'll talk about it literally in a second, okay? We're going to start the timer. We got our first question today is from somebody named user-VV4JK4TF1F. I wanted to pronounce that name prior to the timer because that would have taken some time, okay? We're going to get the timer going once I get it up on my phone. Yes, I didn't plan this ahead of time because I'm a stupid idiot, so here we go with the suspense. Okay, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go. And that first question. I'm a 2K refugee and new to MLB this year. One thing that I haven't quite grasped yet is how or why the community claims that a certain player has a glitchy swing. Is it simply that extreme pull hitters are favored for their ability to turn on inside pitches, or is it more nuanced than that? It's a great question. A phenomenal question. And I can understand why it might be confusing for people like yourself who are kind of new to the community, or maybe not as immersed in the community. The first thing I want to say is not every swing is for every person. Pretty sure that is common knowledge. My favorite swing might not be your favorite swing. It might be your least favorite swing. So let's get that out of the way first and foremost. But there are swings that I would deem glitchy. Swings rather that just work. I have assembled a team here of people I think have incredible swings. You might not agree with it, but it's Juan Soto, Mike Trout, Ronald Acuna, Dominic Smith has a nasty swing. Ketel, Corey Seager, Josh Donaldson, Cody Bellinger, Will Smith. These are just some of my favorites per position. I do think your explanation of pull hitters being favored is certainly true. If you look at this roster, they're all pull hitters to my knowledge. I don't think any of them are push hitters. But it is nuanced. A lot of it has to do with the leg kick and how that syncs up with the timing of the swing. A lot of that has to do with the pitches you sit on, honestly. Sometimes a player's swing just plays very well to the strategy you have at the plate. For example, this Ronald Acuna card has high vision. That's very helpful. I sit on sinkers inside with them because I know people are going to try to pitch them inside. I hit those pitches very well because I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for it. And for that reason, I love the production of Ronald Acuna. There are also swings that for some reason just seem to bail people out. Mike Trout, if we're being honest, is a bail card. Ketel Marte is a bail card. Trey Turner, who I didn't put on here, is a bail card. For some reason, the way he swings the bat, weird things happen. Bloop hits happen. Unreasonable early power happens. I don't know the science behind it, but for some reason, some swings generate unreasonable exit velocities on early or very early timing. Juan Soto is one of those people. Cody Bellinger is one of those people. Trout, Ketel, Trey Turner, Josh Donaldson. Not just because all these guys are on my team, but that for some reason it happens. I wish there was a science to it. I wish I could give you a better answer. But for me, a lot of it just has to do with the fluidity of the swing, how it interacts with the leg kick, because the leg kick is ultimately what's going to trigger in your brain, okay, now I have to swing. Quirks, of course, help. I wish I could give a better answer to that. But you guys in the comments, if you have a better answer, let me know. This question ties into this next question from Matthew. I'm only going to read part 2 of your question because part 1 I think we just kind of talked about. But part 2, why can't we give some of the best players in baseball history, Johnny Bench, Mike Schmidt, Ralph Kiner, etc., better swings to make them usable over players whose careers were much more inferior? I don't know. But let's do it. I mean, I'm here for it. I think it's interesting, right? Because as the game has evolved, people have stood at the plate differently. We've seen open stances, closed stances, bats high up, bats low down. Some people hold the bat out here. In the older days of baseball, and I'm not even talking about like eons ago, I'm talking even about the 70s and 80s, which is not really that long ago, people stood differently at the plate. And I think SDS tries to lean into reality when constructing those swings. Now, reality doesn't always lead to good things, as we're talking about here. A lot of these swings aren't very good. Ivan Rodriguez being a great example. I know he's not from the 70s or 80s, he's from the 90s and early 2000s, but Ivan Rodriguez, his swing is just horseshit. And he doesn't even stand that weird. It's just long and slow, and it doesn't generate launch angle. Mark McGwire's swings, for example, none of them generate lift, and he's a power hitter. So yes, I think SDS should go back into the coding and tool those swings to make them viable. Because oftentimes, that is a lot of the reason there isn't variety in this game, is because we fall so in love with these swings that I don't care that Gary Carter actually has a really good catcher card. His swing is better than it used to be. Maybe that wasn't a great example. But I don't care that Gary Carter's card is super cool, because I have switch-hitting Adley Rutschman with just a categorically much better swing. Or this Will Smith even, much better swing. Same goes for Johnny Bench, his swing sucks. Ralph Kiner I'm never going to use because his swing is bad and I have these fools. So, I agree with you, and I don't know if they will do it, but I do certainly hope they do. Moving on to Down the Line, aka Mike. Since starting your Road to the Show series, what are the top 3 things you would fix to make it better? I don't know if I have 3 things per se, but I have things. Road to the Show has been a fun 2 episodes that I've done so far. I've recorded the 3rd, you guys just have not seen it yet. I don't like Road to the Show. And it's one of their tentpole modes. But Road to the Show is not immersive. There's no story. I, as the content creator, have to fabricate a story. And you could argue that's my job and responsibility, and I'm happy to do it. I want to entertain the people. I hope that you guys, if you've been watching, have enjoyed it. But SDS does me no favors with creating a story. All you do is play a game, at bat, play the next game, at bat, play the next game, at bat, play the next game, blah, 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 blah. On the off day, you get to go talk to one person for 1 sentence, then go do some mind-numbing training, and then go back into at bat, 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 at bat. There is no strife, there is no struggle, there is no storyline. I wish it brought in, like, personal relationships. In the last episode, if you guys made it about to the middle of the video, I created a storyline where his girlfriend broke up with him, and we met some tramp at a Southwest Arkansas bar. I gotta make this shit up to make it interesting. I know SDS can't give me a tramp at a Southwest Arkansas, club at the end of the night, but they can give me some story. They can give me some struggle. They can make me make decisions that branch out into different, like, personality traits and different results. And I'm not asking for a full-fledged, like, RPG or fantasy game. I'm just asking for something more than we have. I know 2K, whatever the hell their mode is called, is the example. I've been told that we don't want this game to turn into 2K's mode. I just need something in the middle. So I'm more upset that there's no story than anything else. Thank you, Mike. Moving on to Frank. How can SDS restructure gameplay to ensure that relievers have more prominent role that reflects the real game? I read this question and I thought about this question for a very long time. The answer is I don't know. The answer is also, I don't think this game will ever be, not catered towards relievers, but make it more realistic. It's a couple reasons. 1, stamina already doesn't work for starters and relievers, so they become gassed too quickly. Secondly, games end too quickly because people quit, so we never see relievers anyway. That's not a fault of MLB The Show, that's a fault of the player base being soft for going down 1-0 and quitting. Thirdly, generally speaking, the MLB The Show community as a whole at the plate lacks patience. People swing. They swing a lot. They swing early. It is rare for a starting pitcher's pitch count to get absolutely jacked up through the roof to the point where you've got to take them out in the 5th. You're taking your starters out if your pitcher is struggling. It's rare that you're taking your pitcher out due to pitch count issues. So I don't think there's really a necessity for a reliever. And a lot of times, if you do need a reliever, you just need 1. Maybe 2 for a matchup. I saw a lot more relievers prior to the 3-batter minimum rule a few years ago. Because people would mix and match. You'd bring in Zach Britton for a lefty, then you'd immediately bring in a righty. Then You play the game. But the new rules in MLB, which I'm kind of neutral on, prevent that from happening. So I do think relievers play a very little role, or very minor role, rather, in this game. I don't know if there's a way to fix it, but I'm open to hearing everybody's suggestions. Frank, thank you. And then another question about relievers from MVP Nacho. Nacho, I'm sorry that I have not answered this before. I've seen it before. Does it matter when to warm up a reliever, stretch and toss, etc.? Not really. I think it's always better to be safer than sorrier. I warm up relievers in like the third inning of every Rights game. I just get them up. I get them hot. Just in case. I take out my starter when trouble is afoot. If my opponent's swings are getting significantly better. If I'm running into trouble with him picking up on my patterns. If the player I'm playing is no longer chasing like he should be chasing. Of course, if my pitcher's getting smacked around the yard, I'm taking him out too. I say it's always good to have them ready because you never know. I don't use the stretch and toss mechanic. I just use warm up. Maybe that's silly of me. In Battle Royale or event games, I'm warming relievers up in the first inning. It's the first thing I'm doing just to have them prepared. I don't think the stretch and toss or the keep warm or any of those mechanics make a difference. I don't think if you warm your reliever up for 4 innings, it hurts him. I just know you're not supposed to bring them in cold. And so I always try to have them prepared just in case. You never know the scenario. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather have one lefty and one righty ready to go just in case. Ladies and gents, we covered both sides of the ball in this one, so that's cool. Didn't talk about defense because nobody really cares about defense, but if you have questions about defense, let me know. As always, I welcome your comments on anything we just talked about, but don't forget to leave your questions down below. This series is not possible without the questions of all of you wonderful people on YouTube, so please let me know what you're concerned about, and I will see if I can help you. Thanks so much for making it to the end. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great week, of course, and I'll see you in the next video.